What is going on YouTube? Today I want to talk to you about angles in Christmas trees. We have built quite a few Christmas trees on this channel and I want to talk to you about which one is the best angle for your Christmas tree. And we are going to have another Christmas tree build in this video. My name's Andy, this is Cedar River Woodworking and welcome to the shop.
I live inside my own.
Christmas trees. We love to build Christmas trees on this channel. Today, we will specifically be talking about this one right here. This is using a different angle than what we have used on all the rest of our Christmas trees so far. And that would be these. This is a 30-degree angle on these Christmas trees right here. These are some of our best videos that we've had on the channel. And then this specific one right here, this is our geometric tree, has been amazing. So if you like to see holiday videos like this one, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are making a big push to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. So let's get over and I will show you the angles and how we build this tree right here. So here we are over at our miter saw and we have a 10-foot long 2x4. So 2x4, if you don't know, is 1.5 inches thick and 3.5 inches wide. And this particular one, you're going to need 10 feet of length so you can make this Christmas tree. So our first thing that we are going to do is we are going to turn our saw to 22.5 degrees. My saw does have a solid stop at 22.5 degrees. It is half of 45 and most saws have that stop as well. So we will just cut the end off of this board here. So once we have the end cut off of that, we're going to go ahead and roll the board over so that that long point is against the fence. And now we need to cut at 21.5 inches in length. So this is going to be a trapezoid. That means that the end angles are going to face in towards each other. When you roll the board over like that, that will give you a trapezoid shape. And if you just slide it straight down the fence, that will give you a parallelogram. A parallelogram is where the angles are in the same direction. Now our next cut is going to be 14 inches. And this is going to be the same process. It is going to be a trapezoid. So we need to roll the board over once again. So with the 14-inch piece cut, we need to make 4 pieces that are 11 inches long, and these are going to be parallelograms. Remember, the angles are in the same direction. So all I need to do is just slide the board down, and I do not need to roll the board on this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set a stop block so all of these are the same. Remember, using a stop block, make sure that your blade comes to a complete stop so you don't get a kickback. You can also hold the piece in place so that the board doesn't try and move out with the saw blade, and that will also prevent a kickback. So now that we have those 4 11-inch pieces cut, now we get to make some funky angles. So these pieces are going to have a 22.5 degree angle on one side and a 45 degree angle on the other side. Now these are going to be trapezoids because the angles will be facing opposite of each other. That means that you will have to roll the board over for each one of these cuts. So now we're going to change our saw from 22.5 degrees to 45 degrees. And now we are going to cut at 15.5 inches. So now that we have that 15.5 inch piece cut, that means that the end of this board will have our 45 degree angle on it. So all we need to do is roll our board over, set our saw back to 22.5 degrees. And now we need to cut this one at 17 inches. So this is what that's going to look like. You're going to have one side that's a lot sharper than the other one. And this is about the amount of scrap that you have left over. Now we can go ahead and throw away our scrap and let's assemble this tree. So here we are over at the bench. We have this thing all mocked up and now we are ready to assemble this thing. In a lot of my videos, I like to use brad nails on these, But because this is a 2x4 build, I will be using 2.5-inch deck screws. Now you can use brad nails because it won't show as much at the top. So if you were to paint this or stain it, you won't have the head of the screw here. I've also seen people use trim head screws, and it is a screw with a much smaller head on it. Really, it's all preference on what you want to do. And in this case, because this is an outdoor build for me, I'm gonna go ahead and use these deck screws. So what I like to do first is I like to take the branches, which are the 11-inch pieces, and set them off to the side. Now we have our 17 and our 15.5-inch piece, and I'm going to secure these together first. So the 17-inch piece overlaps the 45-degree angle of the 15.5-inch piece, and you will make this point like this. It kind of looks like a triangle. It's more just like an arrowhead for me. And I'm going to go ahead and push those up against my long board here, and I'm just gonna have that as a stopper essentially. So then once I have these kind of mated up and they are flush together, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-drill with one of these combination bits that has a countersink and the pre-drill on it. Now I'm going to try and go horizontally through this to go ahead and get into the meat of these two boards. Once I have those holes drilled, I'm just gonna put a couple screws into there. So once I have that peak all made up, I'm gonna go ahead and set it off to the side. I'm gonna grab two of the bottom branches here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the angle on the very face of this bottom board here. This is the 21.5-inch piece, and I have two 11-inch pieces. Now I'm gonna have those so that they are angled inwards towards the center of the tree. And then we're just gonna go ahead and do the same process as we put this one together as well. Do I see you eyeing my candy cane stocking over there? If you're liking this build so far, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel because we do lots of Christmas ornaments like this one, that stocking over there. We even have a Star of Bethlehem. We will have some videos out in the future for shop improvements as well, so make sure you are sticking around for more DIY builds like these. So once we have the two bottom branches on here, you're gonna have this U shape like this. I'm going to secure the bottom of this on here, and how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna measure half of this bottom board here, which is going to be 10 3/4. And then I'm also going to measure half of this 14-inch piece, and that is going to be 7 inches. And all we need to do is just line those two marks up to each other, and now that we know that this is centered, we're gonna go ahead and do the same process here of drilling and screwing. Now, if you are using brad nails on this, I would highly recommend using some wood glue on this. Otherwise, those brad nails are not going to be strong enough to hold everything together. So now we need to put the middle branches in here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to measure down 2 inches from this face here of the angle. The short side of this angle is just going to mate up to it. Then we just need to go ahead and pre-drill and put our screws in. So now that we have our larger U shape like this one here, we just need to go ahead and attach this peak to the rest of it. It's going to be the same exact process. So once we have this completely assembled, you can admire your Christmas tree. So here is the final assembled Christmas tree. Now, we do have this style right here that is 22.5 degrees with a combination of 45 degrees, or we have the original that we did that was 30 degrees. Now you can see here there is quite a bit of a difference of height on this one. This is about 27 inches tall and this is about 36 inches tall. So just that small amount of change in degree or an angle, it will change the height of this dramatically. So do you like the 30-degree angle or do you like the 22.5-degree angle? Let me know down in the comment section below, down in the doobly-doos. Personally, I really like the 30-degree angle. It just seems a little bit more inviting and kind of cartoony for the holidays. This one here, I don't know, it just feels more serious to me. Now, with these trees, you can make smaller ones like this one, and you can make them nest inside of each other. Now, this small tree here, I sell for probably about $20 to $25. This larger tree I sell for about $30. Now, if you did a combination of the two, you could probably sell them for about $60. So you can make quite a bit of profit on these trees here. Now, if you made it this far in the video, let me know what color you would paint these, or maybe you'd even stain them. Personally, I like the red, white, and green colors to go on these Christmas trees. This has been a very fun build, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Anyways, for now, my name is Andy. This has been Cedar River Woodworking, and we'll see you in the next video.